What a great inventor Benjamin Franklin was. Bifocals, the Franklin stove, swimming fins, the harmonica, the first flexible urinary catheter. Great things. But of course, he is most famous for bringing lightning down from the skies, the lightning rod. Well, everyone knows the classic experiment that supposedly started it all, with Benjamin flying a kite attached to a key in a storm. It is very questionable whether or not he ever actually carried out this experiment. Franklin kept meticulous records, and there is absolutely no entry about any such experiment, although he does talk of a very similar experiment that was carried out in 1752 in France, and he says that this is what gave him the idea of the lightning rod. Well, the lightning rod, believe it or not, was not immediately accepted by the population, because many people believed at that time that lightning was dispensed by God to punish people. And gunpowder was very often stored in churches at that time, because it was believed that God would never strike his own establishment. Of course, that wasn't exactly correct. There were many bell ringers who actually found out about that the hard way. Very often, actually in lightning storms, bell ringers would ring bells. In the Middle Ages, this was very popular because it was thought that the ringing of the bells would distract the lightning away somehow, because the message was coming from the church. Well, by one account, in the 14th, 15th, and 16th century, there were about 130 bell ringers that were killed when lightning struck the bell in the bell tower. The lightning rod, which Benjamin Franklin essentially invented, only became in common use in the late 1700s. But there was some controversy here. King George III didn't like Benjamin Franklin's invention. Why? Because he didn't like Franklin, who was, of course, a supporter of the American Revolution. So he didn't want to give credit to Franklin, and he said that lightning rods should never be pointed the way that Franklin had suggested, but they should be rounded on the top. Well, believe it or not, it eventually turned out that that is correct. Lightning rods indeed do work better when there's a metal ball at the top of the rod. But in any case, Benjamin Franklin should get credit for the invention of the lightning rod. But as I said, it was not immediately accepted. And there's an interesting little facet of history for you. And that for today is our Cup of Joe.